beyond my wildest dreams. Maybe that one could have carried me to streets of gold. Things aren't always as they seem. Looking back on all the chances that I missed, some I held, some slipped away. One street over where my memories exist, I wondered what would change, I really couldn't say. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I had today. Except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I had today. From my home, cracked and broken asphalt everywhere. I could have ended up just like that broken road, with a dead end in my path. Thank the Lord that I've got more than that. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I won't forget the lessons that I don't deserve. Because one street over there's a life I could have known would have kept me from the one I love today.
Good morning. How you doing? This is 1100 WSG. I'm U-Turn Laverne, and this is One Street Over. Welcome to it, guys. Okay, you're going to step outside today? Right now it's in the 60s. It's going to maybe go up a degree, and that's about it. So you're kind of where the high's going to be. We're starting to make that turn back into fall weather. I know we were 80 degrees yesterday. It was crazy. But we're getting back to what you should expect for this time of the year today. So get ready for it. Yeah, I still got my chacos on, though. I'm not going to put my sandals up yet. I need Jan, pull that microphone right to you, my sweet friend. Keep it on that mat if you don't mind. It keeps it from kind of rattling. But we are doing, we're getting historical today. We had Bill in earlier this week, you know, and anytime I love talking about history and all the things. We've got such a cool town. Danny Atchley, Janet Palmore here from the Robertson County Historical Society Museum. Would that be fair?
That's fair.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that would be the way to put it, because Danny's in. You're the president of the board, right?
No, I was president, but now I'm a vice president.
Okay. Who's president?
Paul Nutting.
Okay. Did not realize
Paul
that.
succeeded me.
Okay.
But we have a really very good board of directors made up of a lot of very talented and people that love history. And of course, Janet Palmore is our history museum director.
Correct.
And is doing all kinds of great things for us at the museum there. So we're excited about that.
One of my favorite things is the gift shop, because it helps me buy gifts for my children. Because I'm a boy mama, and it's just the hardest thing in the world trying to come up with Christmas gifts for those little knuckleheads. But y'all just bring it every year. I can come in there and find something unique that reminds them of home, because they've all moved off. And I'm just like, I want them back. I want them back here. especially one that just had a baby. I've got all these anyway. I digress.
I was just going to say, Janet, tell them about all the new stuff we got in at the gift shop.
I've heard. So yes. So let's just it's Christmas time, y'all. Get ready for it. You got to get out and get these gifts. The gift shop at the museum is, I think, probably one of the best kept secrets in Robertson County when it comes to gift giving, because I mean our county is so unique and so cool. And if you've got kiddos that grew up here, go shopping there. All kinds of things. So what have you got this year, Janet?
So we've got all our prints that represent
which
each
I got
part of the
last
county.
year.
Yep, you got last year.
Yep.
And we've also got new throws in.
Oh, fun.
Pillows, garden flags have been a huge hit this year. We also have our lighted buildings that represent Springfield. So the courthouse, history museum.
That you can put in your Christmas
that
village.
You can put in your Christmas
okay.
village, yep.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. And we've also got our t-shirt designs. We've also added gift ideas that are already prepackaged. All you got to do is come pick them up.
Oh, love it. Love it. Love it. I mean, it's just so unique. The hands down, the favorite thing that I've gotten my kids there is the courthouse print.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all had given me one of those. So sweet of y'all. You gifted me with that a few years ago. And I was like, oh, my kids would love this. And so I came in and got them one. Oh, they just treasure it. And they all have it in their office, and every one of them. And it's just a little reminder of home. And maybe it'll keep reminding them to move home.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Come on.
Well,
land, you can have some land, and you can build a house.
And it's a pretty spot out there, too.
It is, isn't it? Yeah. I know. I love it.
Janet and I waded the creek out there, what was it, about 2 years ago?
Mm-hmm. Anytime. We tell people, I tell people, come and enjoy it with us,
That's a neat place, and that Sulphur Fork meets Cars Creek, which goes all the way to Red River, which goes all the way to Clarksville. And so you could go from your house
and they use
by water all the way to Clarksville.
Well, and you think about it from a historical perspective. One of my biggest regrets, I wish I'd had the money to save the cabin that was on that property, because when we moved there was no place we could live. There was some buildings, but we had to demolish them. And as we started demolishing one of the old houses, there was a cabin under it. I don't think people even realized was there. Yeah. And it was so chopped up from the additions that it was collapsing in areas. It was full of termites. We tried to save it. I mean, we spent about $10,000 trying to save that place. Oh. And it finally, we had to dismantle it because we were afraid somebody's going to get in there and get killed.
Yeah.
We were afraid it was going to collapse. And I mean, if we'd had $100,000 to spend on it, we just didn't. And so it had to come down. And the rock chimney is just there. It's just kind of crumbled over the years, and I've just left it. My dream is to restore it and then put a reconstruction of what it would have looked. I've got pictures of the cabin.
Okay.
And it was pegged. The ceiling was pegged.
Yeah.
So everybody told me that means it was probably built in the late 1700s.
Probably.
And because of the waterways, it had to have been one of the original homesteads.
Oh, yeah.
And we've done some,
That's what they do. They would move to where the water is.
Yes. And so, we know it's a historical property, and I just want people to come and enjoy it. I tell people, come down and, see what we got. So, but anyway. All right, I digress. What are we doing with are tickets still available, or are they sold out?
We've sold out.
Oh,
we have sold out.
Wow.
This is, every year we sell hundreds of tickets, but over the past 2-3 years, our ticket sales have just increased because of the popularity of the Christmas tour. And we've been doing this for over 30 years.
Oh, wow.
But this year, we've really got some dramatic homes. I know I say that every year, but one of them is, and in fact, I'm going to save it for last, because all four homes,
here for people that are on social media so you can see them.
All four homes are unique. Here is a nice brick building, a brick house. This was built in about 1921.
I'm trying to see if I recognize
down on
whose that is.
Garner Street, and that's Bill and Sharon Hargraves.
Okay.
That's their home right there. It's a beautiful lot.
Very pretty.
A neat house. There's a lot of history in that house, too. The Bell family lived there for a time.
Okay.
It's just a beautiful home, and Bill and Sharon have lovingly maintained it, restored it. And it's another one of the all-stars that's going to be on the Christmas tour this year.
That's cool.
And then we've got another one here. This is another brick. This is on Oak Street, and this belongs to Melissa and Adam Wills, and that home also was built around 1920, and it was owned at one time by the Qualls family of Qualls Motor Company here in Springfield.
Okay.
All right, and that's. I was in it yesterday. Was making interior photos of the homeowners, and that'll be in the program that we have every year that shows all the homes and gives a history of the homes and tells a little bit about the homeowners. But that home there is immaculate. I mean, it's just neat. It looks like you step back in time. Even the furnishings are that way. Here's another home. This belongs to Jody Culp and Kelly McGrath. It's over on Locust Street. They live there now, but their plan is to turn it into an Airbnb.
Oh, fun.
Yeah,
Okay.
which is right off the square. It's a block and a half from the museum, Janet?
Probably about a block.
It's not very far, but it's a neat house. Again, early 20th century when it was built. And all of these homes have a lot of history in them. I mean, there's a lot of different people that have lived there, unique people from Springfield's past. And then here's a house down on Oak Street. And again,
Oak Street's popular.
Oak Street's got a lot of neat homes on it.
It's got a lot of history.
But that belongs to Fred and Sharon Wilharm, who I know are very good friends. Used to make movies here in Springfield. Faith-based.
They're a cool couple.
They're nice. And that home, they used to, when they would make a movie, oftentimes they'd use the home itself for the interiors for some of the different scenes. And so it's just unique. Again, this was built prior to the 20th century, probably about 1890, I think, somewhere about along in there.
Oh, it's cool.
Pretty sure that was the tobacco money that built that house.
Okay.
And then the big Mama Jama, and that is the Cheatham House, which is possibly the most historic home in Springfield and Robertson County. It was built by Richard Cheatham, who was the son of Archer Cheatham Sr. Archer Cheatham was an early settler in Robertson County, came here from North Carolina, he and his family, and acquired some land, and then he sold 30 acres of what would become downtown Springfield, what would become the site of the courthouse and the rest of the courthouse square, which includes Woodard Hall, the museum. All that property came from the Cheatham family. And then their grandson, or his grandson, Richard Cheatham, built what we call the Cheatham House in 1833, which was a mansion at that time. And it has a lot of history to it. It would have rivaled the Hermitage. It would later rival the Belmont Mansion. In fact, they even have connections to that because Richard's son, I believe, he was a doctor, and he married Adelica that built the Belmont Mansion in Nashville. So anyway, that home there is very unique as people drive by, and everybody would ask us, well, when are you going to put that home on the tour? Well, the thing about it is, if we get a home on the tour, it's not the easiest thing in the world to do.
Right.
You got to ask, people that are interested in the history of their home and want to share it with you.
Yeah.
And you have to remember, we do have a few hundred people be tromping through their home.
Yeah, that's a lot.
But these people and all the homeowners
are it now.
Well, here's the unique thing about it. It belongs to Ms. Kleinard, but it actually is going to be in a sale the day of the Christmas tour.
Really?
We will all the people that will be on the tour, everybody's got their ticket. They will come to the Cheatham House, and then Janet and her staff will check everybody in, get your ticket punched where you can go on to the rest of the tour and get your souvenir program with a map that shows all the different locations on the tour. But that's where everybody will go, and that information is being provided to everybody via Facebook, etc. And but they'll check in there, and then at 2:30 approximately, they're going to have a live sale of the home. And the furnishings that is still in the home that belong to Miss Kleinard that the family does not want, that will be available to bid on, and then My understanding is Bluegrass Realty, our good friends J.K. and John Graves, are working with us on this. And anyway, they're going to have the sale that afternoon about 2:30, and then the possessions, or again the furniture and everything else, furnishings, will be moved to the fairgrounds for sale the next weekend. So all this information will be coming out in the next coming days. I say all that to say this: the house sits on a hill overlooking Springfield, downtown Springfield. But now, when it was originally incarnated, when it was originally built, it was facing east. The entrance was facing east. And then a Mr. Simmons, who was a big tobacco man back around the early 20th century, he bought it, and he changed the entrance to what we're used to seeing now, to the north side, and added the columns and the porch and the balconies.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's got the attached kitchen in the back that you can't see from the road, from the street.
Cool old house.
And then you've got actually the slave cabins that they had enslaved people that lived there for a time. And then there's also a carriage house that my understanding also has an apartment in it as well. So it's
that property's gonna go high.
It will.
If it doesn't, I mean, if they don't get a chunk for that, that what a treasure.
Yeah.
Oh, what a treasure.
Well, the history.
Wouldn't that be fun to own?
Janet and I got to go through it.
Oh my gosh, that'd be so fun to own.
Week before last. Janet, you want to say anything about the house?
It's beautiful.
Oh my, just incredible. I'm curious now. Is the back gable still there or did they take the old entrance off and completely flip it?
It's still there.
So it's a reversible house.
You can see it. You can see.
Well, see, it's kind of funny. This is hysterical. The house that we have on our property, we moved it. We bought it from Airport Authority, and the front of the house, as it was constructed, faces the creek. Mm-hmm. Okay. And so, but we had this roofing company. We turned our dairy barn into an office, right? And had this roofing company. So we wanted an entrance on the back as well. We did the exact same thing. Okay. And so that just cracks me up that you did that, because my children are always, I say the front of the house is facing the creek. Yeah. And they're like, no, Mother, the back of that's the front of the house. I'm like, no, the technical front of the house faces the creek. And we did the exact same thing. And I mean, did a build out like that in a porch. We don't have the balconies, but that just cracks me up. We weren't the only ones that thought of it. How funny. We have a reversible house too.
Well, Mr. Simmons, who did all this in 1905, he was a big tobacco man. He had a tobacco company, made a lot of money, and he was able to afford that. And that's, it's just really a unique house. I can't wait for everybody to get to go through it. And this may be the only time you'll get a chance to go through it.
Was it? Well, it's just like all.
But we really want to salute our friends J.K. and John Graves with Bluegrass Realty, who are partnering with us on this, and they do a great job anyway. I've been to some of their estate sales, and they really know what they're doing. That's cool. And so. There we go. That's going
to be fun.
That's it.
Man, I love it. So so anybody could come to the auction then, couldn't they? Yeah. I'm guessing. So if you want to see it, go to the auction after this. Of course, if you manage to get your ticket, what is the day of this?
It is December the 10th, Sunday from 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock p.m.
1 o'clock to 5 o'clock. Oh,
and it's rain or shine. If it snows, of course,
come on.
Bring your snowshoes.
We
have had it snowed on the Christmas tour of homes. I'll never forget one year I was out there shoveling snow off a porch so people could come inside. Literally.
Sure. Yeah, and
but it's a lot of fun if you enjoy historical homes, and they're all within easy walking distance of each other. It's Locust Street to Oak Street to Garner Street up to 7th Avenue. I mean, it's again, I think this is the best tour we've ever had.
And see, this is
we've sold out, Laverne. I'll say this: we've sold out a month, almost 5 weeks before the event.
Yeah,
we've never done anything like that before.
And it's what this is something that I just really want to get to where my life is not so crazy that I can participate in things like this. But I knew I had things going that day, and so I couldn't. But I understand. Man, I would love to just be able to go and do this. But now I'll tell you, I will challenge the Wilharms. You do videography. Why don't you make us a video of it? y'all could do that, Sharon.
Yeah.
You know, they could. They could
Yeah.
make us a little
Yeah.
video
Yeah.
that y'all could put up after the fact to promote everything on the website. I'm just saying, wouldn't that be wonderful?
I know for a fact Fred Wilharm is a wonderful videographer.
Oh, yes.
He and I collaborated on a video of the Springfield Bicentennial that we still have on sale at the museum, and it tells about the history, all kinds of history about Springfield and Robertson County. It's still it's a neat.
I want to watch. I haven't watched that. There's so many things I need to do, and that's one of them.
Find the time, Laverne.
Yeah,
Find the time.
I know, but it's all wonderful. This is good stuff. I just love. If you've not been to our history museum, you don't know what you're missing. And I actually had somebody one time. They were having a birthday or something, and I gifted them with a membership for a year, and very affordable. What is a year's membership? I forget.
$25.
Yeah.
For family and
For family.
And
so. Because I didn't know what to get them, and they were relatively
that's a
new.
wonderful gift.
Yeah, and I was like, oh yeah, and it just and
You get a
and they
discount
loved
on the
it.
gift shop.
Yeah, and they loved it. They loved it,
early
and
access to all the tickets.
Yeah.
well, and I tend to renew my membership when I come in and buy stuff at the gift shop. That's when I tend to think, okay, I need to renew my membership so I get my discount and all that thing. But and I'm not really sure what my status is in my membership right now. We need an auto renew, y'all.
We really do.
You need an auto renew, and I would always be a member.
How can we do that, Janet?
I'll work on that.
I'll sign up for an auto renew if you hook me up. That's
I'll hook
why
you up.
I pay everything digital now, and
I probably need to renew mine.
yeah, see, but you need just an auto renew, So
idea.
yeah, I've got a couple of memberships of things. I'm like, okay, I don't want that anymore. But this is one I would never end, But anyway, so we're talking with Danny Atchley. We're talking with Janet Palmore about all things historical here in Robertson County. It's such a cool place. I just love our place.
I got one more thing.
Yeah, what you
Janet,
got?
why don't you tell them about Christmas with Santa Claus?
Oh, yes.
So we are having breakfast with Santa December the 9th from 9 to 11.
That is the Saturday before the tour.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Sure is.
Okay.
He will be there. He will eat breakfast with you. He will read stories. We'll have pictures you can take with him. We're going to have a backdrop set up for him, and we're going to have crafts set up throughout the museum as well. And we're also going to have a bluegrass band. Correct?
Yep,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah,
The Tri-State Ramblers are going to be back in the lobby.
Love those kids.
Oh, I do too.
Kids, I love them.
Oh.
They're so talented. The Brown girls.
Yes.
She's my sister. They're
Yep.
part of that, and just
Oh,
love
yeah.
them. 2 pieces. They're just so
They're
cool. Love
dear
their
friends.
mama. Just love Danita, but they're just fun. And
They are fun.
I ran into Danita. Well, they were playing at the Sampler.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, so I was at the Sampler,
Yeah.
and they were one of the girls was there playing.
Reagan.
And Reagan was playing, and I talked to Danita for a bit. But those girls are so talented, and all those kids. I don't know the other kids as well as I do, the Browns, but man, so cool. And are you guys? And I kind of know I think I know the answer to this. We're going to have carriage rides
We
Yes.
are.
here in coming up.
Yep.
And
City
y'all
of
are going to be
Springfield's
open that
doing
night,
that.
right?
We are
Aren't y'all
going to be open every night that they're doing the carriage rides
That's
till
what I
8.
thought.
And we'll have crafts for the kids, and you'll be able to tour and do your Christmas shopping.
And we got that new kids.
We have the new kids area downstairs that we just opened up in August.
Yep.
I wonder if I can. My birthday is on Friday, the 8th. And so last year, because I was 60 last year, right? That was a big one. And so
Yeah.
Ace set it up just for me. She brought
Aw.
the carriage rides in just for me.
Aw.
And we spent the night down there. And I had friends come down. We had dinner at a Ray's. But then I had my carriage ride, and on my 60th birthday, it was just perfect. It was just
Oh, yeah.
picture perfect.
That is neat.
And I
got
just
to do
appreciate
that.
Ace setting all that up just for me for my 60th. But I'm definitely going to come down again. That's my plan. And I think I'm going to try to get a hold of at least 1 or 2 of my grandkids. And
I
bring
took
them
my grandkids
in.
on it. The boys
Yeah.
enjoyed it. They really
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, so we've just got such a cool.
One of them was going to
place.
fall out, but
I have to tie them down. Well, and then the weekend prior to the second is the big Christmas parade, the light up Christmas parade.
Yep.
And if you've not been to our Christmas parade when it's lit up, that was one of the good things that came out of COVID, is because it kind of forced us to reorganize, and we put it in, they took it to the evening and lit it up, and oh my goodness, there's no turning back now. It just gets better and better every year.
we are blessed to live
Yeah.
in Springfield, Robertson
Yeah,
County,
we
with
really
all
are.
the neat activities and neat organizations that
Sure.
we have, all the nonprofit.
Mm-hmm.
Not just us, but there's a whole host of others that do
Oh,
neat
yes.
and important things right here. in Springfield.
For sure.
And you hear this, well, there's not much to do in Springfield. Well, there is plenty to do in Springfield.
not
All you
paying
got to do is go to our Facebook page and check out what all the activities that Janet's got planned for us to do, and it's just a really fun time to be around.
Yes, it is. And we've just got a beautiful downtown square, and I mean, that's why it keeps showing up in movies. So I'll tell you what, let me do a break, and then we'll come back and kind of wrap it up. I know Tiffany Thomson will be coming in here from United Way. We've got to talk gift thanks box. The gift that is right now. We're in the heat of it, and we need you to do it now. She'll talk to you about that in just a minute. But let's go ahead and talk about Veterans Motorplex. This is last weekend, y'all. Veterans Motorplex wants to invite you out to the races. Come on. I thought they were going to end in October, but they ended up, having a couple of dates in November. And I'm so glad that the weather's working out for them. They tried to race into November last year, and the weather just kind of kept pushing them back. But they do have their last race coming up this weekend, and it's a Crown Victoria race. That just sounds fun. And it's going to be a blast. The weather looks good for it. It's going to be a little cooler, but they've got a great concession stand. But it's going to be packed, and it is going to be a lot of fun. You do not want to miss this. The gates are going to open at 4. Racing starts at 6, and it goes up until about 9 o'clock. You can spend $40 ticket, and it will get you up to 8 people in, 6 kids and 2 adults for $40. You can't beat that. Great time right here in Robertson County. Just another one of those best kept secrets. People just forget. It's the old Highland Rim Speedway. That's how you need to follow them on social media, Highland Rim Speedway, and that'll show you Veterans Motorplex. And it's Veterans Day. What better place to hang out on Veterans Day than at Veterans Motorplex and watch the races? Last chance to do that this year, guys. Get out there at 6801 Kelly Willis Road in Greenbrier, 6801 Kelly Willis Road in Greenbrier. The number to call if you've got questions, talk to Jerry at 615-643-8725, 615-643-8725. Always let them know that U-Turn sent you. And as we continue on talking about all things historical here in Robertson County, I've got a wonderful history museum. I try to tell people about the background of the museum, and that it was the post office, but it was fortified to be a place for people to keep their money. And, do you want to say anything to that? For people that are new, that don't know the history of that building, it's spectacular.
Well, I can talk about it just a bit. It was, of course, built, they started building on it in 1913, and they completed it in 1915. And you have to remember, when they did all this, it was all done by hand. There was no electricity with power tools or anything like that. So real true craftsmen built it, but it was designed by Edwin Doherty, who was a big name architect in Nashville at the time. In fact, he went on to design the War Memorial Auditorium in downtown Nashville.
Oh, yeah.
He got evidently a contract of some kind with the federal government to design a few post offices, and one of them was the one in Springfield. But it is, it's a unique building. I think the only other building that would be, I think, prettier on the inside would be the courthouse overall. But the museum, it's really unique. The floors, the walls, and the history of the building itself. Interesting thing, before the post office was built there was a hotel there. The Raglan Hotel was built around 1880, and then it stayed there. And then they actually turned it into like a little, almost a hospital for a brief time, and then almost like an insane place for a few people after that. And then the federal government bought the property, and then it became the U.S. Post Office till 1964.
It's fascinating.
Yeah. It's a pretty neat place.
It really is.
And I feel like we're blessed to be there.
Yeah. Cool place to hang out, isn't it?
Of course, it ain't cheap to keep it heated and cooled either.
I can imagine.
But Janet's making a lot of changes up there. She's changing out the exhibits. I was up there yesterday, and she's completely revamped the gift shop. It is really neat looking now.
See you soon.
Come see me.
Yeah,
Come see you soon.
It's a neat place.
Very good. Anything we're missing, Janet, before we head out?
Just one thing to add to the tour of homes. If you grabbed your ticket, make sure you come by the museum, because we will have a free gift for everyone on the tour, and we will have a drawing for.
Okay, wonderful.
Well.
So you want to do that the day of?
Yes.
Okay, so come by the day of the tour, get your gift, and register for the drawing. So, and that's on the 10th. And God bless you if you got tickets, and You know, if you end up not being able to go and you have tickets to sell, be sure and put them up there. And I know I'm busy that day, but is there any thought about maybe doing it a 2-day?
I've had several requests for that.
You know, because it's always on a Sunday afternoon, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm not going to say no, but
Sundays before Christmas is when I do pictures. I do every Sunday that I possibly can between Thanksgiving and Christmas. I do Christmas minis, and so I stay pretty slammed, and so that's one of the big dilemmas for me.
Yeah,
is that's a real popular time to take Christmas pics. But and Sundays I can typically make that happen. But Saturday, we need a Saturday tour. Or you know what would even be funner?
What?
Have a Friday night tour and the lights up.
Well,
I can do Friday nights are really probably one of my most free nights.
We haven't been in here since Janet. Tell them about what the history and mystery tour that we had a few weeks ago.
Oh yeah, we so I came together and decided to do a haunted history mystery walking tour where we kind of walked downtown and toured some. Well, not toured, but went around and heard some of the homeowner stories. And so we told the ghostly stories of the museum, and we did it at night. And we all dressed in character and walked around the square, and that was
had lanterns.
Well, this is kind of like the Elmwood thing, right?
Well,
'cause I love that. I wore my Elmwood shirt on Halloween, because I was like,
Elmwood, we celebrate historical characters, but on the History Mystery Tour, we did tell about historical events that happened, like the courthouse and the Presbyterian Church. But then we also had some of the homeowners that have had, shall we say, paranormal experiences in their own homes.
Interesting. Well, see, and the stuff that we can do at night like that, anything and everything, and did it sell pretty well?
Oh yeah, sold out.
Oh yeah. See, that's the thing.
We did it 2 nights and it sold out.
Anyway, all things historical, you've got it at the Robertson County Museum. They're going to be open whenever stuff's going on at Christmas. They're going to be open. Did I ask you if they're going to be open parade night?
We will be open parade night, and starting November 18th, we'll start our Saturday hours from 9 to 2 until Christmas.
Okay, very good. Yeah. But parade night, so while the darkness is going on in the parade, y'all are going to have your doors open.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, very good, guys. Unique gifts for those who have moved away from Robertson County, bring a little bit of home to them. And
go to our Facebook page. Go to our Facebook page. You can buy them online.
Guys, and talk to the Wilharms about getting a video of the homes. All right. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Laverne.
Always a pleasure. God bless you.
Love you too.
Love you. We'll see you soon. Right. And as they are making their way out, and Tiffany's making her way in, Brian is out today. He's out raising money for United Way. Be nice to him because it is a good thing. And we're going to talk about Barry and Rebecca Richards with the Exit Realty Garden Gate team. Just great folks. If you're trying to make sure that your home is seen in the best light, what better person to have on your team than a marketer like Barry? He has come out of a marketing background. We talk about that. If you go to his webpage, go to Barry Richards Exit Realty Garden Gate Team. It'll pop up, and there's some stuff on there about his marketing background and the uniqueness that brings to him from the realty world. Being able to do virtual reality tours without having to hire a videographer to come do that. To have a realtor that actually does all that himself, that's a great photographer and videographer and does the drone footage. I've got to get a call into him to come and bring his little indoor drone to show my students. That's always fun. But he's just a great guy. She is wonderful. Love this family so much. And they're separate realtors. They help each other out with everything. Rebecca, one of the first in the area to be a seniors real estate specialist, which is just an example of how much she studies and stays up to date on what she needs to know to properly represent you. She has her own unique web page, Facebook page. If you Google Rebecca Richards, Exit Realty Garden Gate Team, and you're going to find out that they're brokers in separate cities. She's the broker in White House. He is the broker here in Springfield, has an office on the downtown square, the wonderful downtown square now, and they're there to serve you. Whatever it is that you need, Barry and Rebecca Richards, they are there to help you. You can go to sellwithbecky.com, sellwithbecky.com, or buy, B-U-Y, robertsoncounty.com. You can Google them, as I said, or you can just give Rebecca a call, 615-504-7425, 615-504-7425. Always please let them know that their ad dollars are working and let them know that U-Turn sent you. And while I'm on that, guys, be sure and remember that we've got a couple of spots available if you're interested in picking up some some ad time here at 1100 WSGI, helping us keep one street over on the air. Anyway, I'm looking for a new sponsor. You got any ideas?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I know we're going to be doing some ads with United Way for our VITA program. So yeah,
we'll talk.
Yeah,
but,
and I've already told them. I said, well, you need to get on. And I know they want to do some Spanish.
Absolutely. That's people don't realize the Spanish community.
Yeah.
You got WDBL uniquely reaching that community. Oh my goodness. Come on, get a hold of Ilya Maldonado and talk to him about that. And I'll be knocking on a few doors. I've already got a few feelers out, so I may already have it sold, but I not yet, but getting close. So, but well, see, Veterans Motorplex, they drop out whenever, the season ends.
Right.
And so, we need to pick up somebody through the winter before Veterans. Of course, Veterans are going to be coming back on then in the spring. But so we're always looking for those folks that want to advertise with us. So come on, knock on our door and let us know.
Well, I'll make sure that, I already did tell them, our United Way, that they need to advertise, because that's what we want to get our message out about VITA right now. Not only do we, VITA tax season's coming up, and so think about the fact that you can get your taxes done for free.
Yep.
Through the VITA program. And in fact, there's more than just, so the VITA program aims certain households making certain income limits, but we also have free tax preparation for people making over that amount. And so we would love for everybody that cannot afford an accountant to be able to use this program. Like I know my family with our dual income, we're above the income limit, but we got 5 kids. So, we can always use the help in cutting corners where we can. And so that is one thing. But also what we're really looking forward to prepare for the tax season right now is for tax preparers, volunteer tax preparers. The training is involved. So you don't have to already know how to do taxes. And that's the beautiful thing, is that they will train you how to do taxes. Also, we're not just looking for tax preparers. So if you're like, no, I don't want to touch that, because that would be me. Me and math aren't the best of friends, and so that's not where I fit in. But there are greeters. I'm pretty good at saying hello. So there are greeters that we need at the tax sites, and then we also have, if you can take a picture and upload it, and that's into that other program I was talking about, where they have people at home doing the taxes, so you don't have to go in and take everything in, but you can go get pictures of all your documents taken, and it's uploaded into a program. And then there are actual people. It's not just a AI doing your taxes. There are people that are going through it, but they're just doing it from the comfort of their own home. So we have lots of ways to get your taxes done. The IRS has invested a lot of money in United Way to make this happen. And they just increased our grant because we're doing such a great job with it and really reaching the people that need it. And so that's why we're really pushing it hard right now, is because we've got such a bigger grant. And with the bigger grant comes more number, we have to get a certain amount. So you're actually doing us a favor to keep this program going by using VITA. So even if you're like, I've done my own taxes for a long time, but that is another way you can help out, is actually just using VITA so that we can continue to offer the services to people in need. So
very good.
Yeah.
So and right now, if you're somebody that wants to help with this, and so many people, I would really have. I would love. When I was doing business classes last year, I really wanted to have somebody come in and really talk to the students about it, because they just don't have a good understanding of it. And so many people, if you've not, I grew up in a household where I was made very aware of it. I knew exactly what was going on, all of that, because I grew up in a farm family, and it's just part of your life. And so. But for kids, a lot of my kids are getting their first job. They're like, Miss Vivio, with all this money coming out of my check, and I'm like, well, you'll get it back. Number one, if you've got some coming out because you're young and you shouldn't be paying. Put it this way, if you're not getting it back, you need to have somebody help you make sure you do.
Look at your
so
taxes. Yep.
Yeah, for sure. But very good.
Yeah.
So and I plugged before you came in here, though, the thing that I know we've got to focus on though is the Give Thanks program. And I'll say I'm working on my 2. I did not get to go shopping with my grandkids this weekend because I don't know if you saw, I had another grandbaby.
I did see that.
So we had some things happen. And so we had, and I've told this to some people off air, but he was a time warp baby. He was born in the middle of the time change.
Oh,
so,
no way.
Sunday morning, It's like 1:30, and we think he's just about to get here, and then 2:00 happens, and we have 1:30 again. So he was born at the second 1:27 of the morning.
Oh, wow. That's kind of cool.
He's a time warp baby. So, but yes, little Walton Amos Vivio joined us Sunday. So we're planning on getting all that together this weekend, but I'll have it. And my students, little stingers, I'm trying to get them. I've got like a brownie mix that's been brought in. It's all been assigned, but
yeah. Getting them to actually
I think they've brought in about $6 of cash. I'm like 25 guys, we got to get $25. So I'm working on them, but we'll get it. We'll get it.
I can come in and pick them up from you if you get them done, or you can
Okay.
just drop them by the office. The lobby, we're trying to keep the lobby open as many hours during the day as possible so that when we're not there, because we're often not, you can just go in and drop it off. But if you could text me at 615-780-2511. Again, that's 615-780-2511 that you dropped it off, so that when I'm driving by, I can go and lock it up, because with the $25 gift card.
Yes.
We want to make sure that that's secured. So just let me know if you dropped it off in the lobby. Just give me a text or a call or whatever, and let me know that it's there, because I want to make sure it stays safe and gets to the homes and so today in Nashville, they're packing the boxes that we've gotten, like donations from big companies like Deloitte and all those stuff. And so they'll be packing probably over 1,000 boxes today, and some of those will come up to Robertson County, but all the ones that are made and created in Robertson County stay in Robertson County, go to Robertson County families. And so but then we also, because we're partnered with Greater Nashville, we get some of the benefits of some of those big companies down in Nashville doing this service. So,
and originally we had packed these things in the big tubs, but now we're doing it just in a good heavy box, right?
We do. Yeah, we have a banker's box. And in fact, if you are like, 'cause Walmart right now is only selling them in packs of 10. And so if you're only doing a box or two, let me know, because I have had several people who have bought the packs of 10 and then just donated the rest of the boxes to me.
Okay.
And so I have some extra boxes, and I'd be happy, because that's a big expense, actually, especially if you have to buy 10. If you only have to buy one, it's not that big of an expense, but they don't sell them by one. They sell them by 10.
Boxes.
They're called banker's boxes, and they're big, heavy duty cardboard, and it's folded in on itself, so it's like double ply cardboard, and they're good and strong.
And I'd ask you, I have got some printing paper boxes that have the removable lids. Is that the same kind of thing? Can I use that?
You can use that. Yeah, if you have that. The problem with the plastic totes, which you wouldn't think would be true, you can't stack them very high before the plastic starts to break down, because you can't fill it up the same way. Actually, the cardboard ones are stronger. Plus, I think
that interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So plus, I also think there was some not happy feelings around having that much plastic.
Okay.
So, and they're more expensive.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So yeah, so for a lot of reasons, they switched to the banker's box, and it actually fits perfectly in a banker's box. Like the groceries fit in there absolutely, like it was made for it.
And there's a specific list, like a couple of boxes of mac and cheese, a couple of packages of tuna or chicken, the little applesauce packs, little snacks for the kiddos, because you're not just thinking about what they're going to have for their holiday meal. You're looking at a long holiday weekend with kiddos that oftentimes just do not have provision. I hear kids all the time. They were teasing one of my students the other day about, yes, Miss Vivio, you need to give him something to eat because he doesn't have anything to eat at home. And I was like, okay, is that true? And unfortunately it is for a lot of kids, and it just breaks your heart. But, you just...
I have a really good friend who was raised by a mom who, in their family, the family history had been that the women had been trafficked or trafficked themselves to survive for several generations. Her mom broke that cycle, but through breaking the cycle, went through extreme poverty and drug addiction and all that stuff to heal from. I mean, she had been trafficked, but she didn't want to make her daughter a victim of that. So she, through all that, she really went through addiction and all this stuff. So my friend, dear, sweet, really good friend of mine, grew up in that kind of environment. And I love her mom too. Her mom is a warrior in my eyes and can do no wrong. But she talks about how it was a lot easier for her mom to find $1 for a hamburger at McDonald's than it was for her to find even $15 to go to the grocery store and buy ingredients. And so they lived hamburger to hamburger.
God bless.
And so hearing about her experience growing up in that kind of world where my dad was a dentist, like I grew up in a very different world than she did. Yeah. And so I love hearing it from her perspective and trying to really understand what that would have been like, hoping that your mom found $1 that day so you could go to McDonald's and get a hamburger. So there was never food in her cupboards ever. And I've been in homes as a DCS worker and as a CASA where there's not food in the cupboard. I remember once I was babysitting some kids as a teenager. It was the first time I've ever seen anything like that. I went to open the cupboard after the kids had gone to bed, see if I could find a snack. I was getting hungry, and there was a package of ketchup in the cupboard and that was it.
Wow.
And so yeah, there are a lot of homes like that. And a lot of kids, when they go home for the Thanksgiving break, they're not going to have food every single day. And so that's what these Thanksgiving boxes, not only will it give them money for their holiday meal that they can celebrate together, that they can come together in gratitude for the people who helped donate and make that possible. But also, like you said, there's pasta, there's snacks, there's, we do like granola bars or fruit bars or whatever. And so anyway, so they'll have something to eat. It might not be a lot to eat every day, but they'll have something to eat every day.
To sustain them. Mm-hmm. It's just incredible. And I just can't say enough about it. That's something that I knew was an issue, but then to actually have high school kids that truly are, they're going hungry. And I'm like, what the heck? And I guess that's one of the hardest things is somebody just going, what can we do? Is to know, and how can you find out about this? Because there's a lot of pride involved. Sometimes parents are, and you also have the reality that you have situations where kids are in still in an abusive situation where you can, if you can take things and then they don't even get it. The parents will use it to facilitate getting other things, and it kills me.
Sometimes there are kids that have to take home food and hide it from their parents, and that those situations break your heart. Yeah. We do have a lot of, I can't remember what the latest statistic is, but it's almost like 1 in 4 kids face food insecurity. And that doesn't mean that they're not eating at all. It just means they're not exactly sure where the next meal is coming from. Right. And so that I can only imagine it is in our DNA to provide food every day, right? So like if we don't know where the next meal is coming from, that puts us in a state of fight or flight because we need to find food, right? We got to prepare to, like the hunter-gatherer in us is like preparing to go out and kill an animal or something. And so it puts us in fight or flight, which means that's the only thing on our mind. We're not able to focus at school. We're not able to build relationships. We're not able to take care of our mental health because we're just in this constant state of fight or flight, and these children are dealing with us every day.
It's incredible. But this is all to say, the Give Thanks program, you can put together a food box, about $75 investment.
At the very most.
Yeah. I mean, I was going through the list and I'm like, hey, you got the $25 gift card, but the rest of this stuff is not expensive at all.
No, I've done it with my family. We buy the Walmart brand, because that's what we eat. So, I just feel like if you have a Thanksgiving meal, give thanks by giving it, paying it forward. So even if it means that your meal isn't as fancy, maybe you don't need 15 sides. Maybe you can do it 10.
Yeah, there you go. And I'm going to go do this with my grandkids and the ones that are here not in Jackson. I've got the new baby. He's itty bitty. But I loved the video that you had of you and your kiddos going and doing this shopping. So I think that's just such a beautiful thing, such a cool thing.
Yes, it was so fun. Like I've said a million times, like when my kids were really little, I could not find service opportunities for us. Like everything was like, oh, but not with kids, not with kids, not with kids. So anytime I can find something where you can bring the kids along and you can, because you want to raise them up with a servant's heart, you just do. Yeah. And so that's my best advice as a mama of 5, like raise your kids up with a servant heart. Not that it always takes. 4 of them are teenagers right now and we're struggling some days, but but you hope that it will be ingrained in them when they're raising their own babies, they're going to do the same thing. And so this was one of the best ways to do that.
Yeah. 4 teenagers in the house.
Yes.
I had 4 teenagers at one time.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah. Us twin mamas, you get somebody's like, how did you manage that? And I was
I didn't know you had a set of twins.
I do. They're 13.
I did not know that. See, my oldest were twins. I don't think you've ever told me that. Okay, because I had 4 teenage boys all at the same time.
Yeah,
and that's the reason why I drive. People tease me about my cars because I buy old cars. I pay cash for them typically, and keep just collision on them. Don't get liability because I had my insurance agent at the time advised me to do that. He goes, "That's the only way you're ever going to afford your insurance." And I was like, "I can do this. This is cool." And I don't, typically don't have a car payment, and or a very small one if anything. But anyway.
I'm gonna say one of mine's a girl. One of the twins is a girl, and there are some days I kind of wish it was 4 boys. That one girl. But
I have 5 kids though.
I have 5. Then I have my 9-year-old who's still in the sweet childhood phase, and everything she does is to please mommy, and precious.
Better
precious.
enjoy it for another minute. That's about how much longer it's gonna last.
I know.
We're talking with Tiffany Thomson, and she is with United Way of Robertson County, and do y'all also work out of this county? What you like, Robertson County, and do y'all do Cheatham or something? What is it?
So United Way of Greater Nashville actually has a 9-county footprint, and so there are county managers in some of the rural counties.
Right.
So we have somebody in Williamson and Hickman, and then we have somebody that does Clarksville, Houston, and Stewart, and they're new. We just merged with them.
Okay.
And then we've got Dixon and Cheatham that we all kind of pitch in and cover for right now. That might be changing sometime soon. And then I am Robertson.
Right. And so that's what I love about it is that if you want to pour into the United Way, everything that you have will stay here, and you can even designate, say, I want this to go to Cope. I want this to go to Casa. Casa is one of your partners, right?
Absolutely. Actually, and you can even pick one that's not one of our partner agencies. We cut checks to Open Door all the time.
Oh, really?
Yes. So if you want to pick an agency, now if they're not a partner agency, there is some type of processing fee that comes off your donation, but it's very minimal, very, very minimal.
Okay.
But just because they're not already in our banking system or whatever, there has to be some type of processing fee. But so in fact, I think Open Door was saying they got one from a United Way in Ohio. Somebody's like, well, I wanted to go to Open Door. And so it came all the way from Ohio. You can choose whoever you want your money to go to. So if you want it to be very specific, and you can even choose your outcome. So hey, I just want to go to education. I don't care where in education, but I want to go to education. And so that will go to education in wherever you decide. Or you can just say, you know what, I trust United Way to make that decision, because we really do go through a lengthy process to decide who gets money, where your money goes to. And if you trust that system more than your own research, because I know a lot of us don't have the time to do our own research, then you can just put it in the general fund, and we will make sure that it gets spent on the greatest need in the community at the time.
I love it. And this is, United Way comes in here every Thursday at 7:30 most days, because there's always something going on, some kind of an event. They are the bridge builders to the nonprofit, like our chambers are the bridge builders to the businesses around. And speaking of businesses around, let's talk about Corbin Creek Greenhouse Gifts and Gardening Center. How's your little one doing with the headache salve? Is that helping?
Oh my goodness, yes. We have not had to use Motrin since we bought the headache salve.
That's incredible. I've got to talk to my daughter-in-law and son about my grandson, because on your recommendation, I got it for him because he has little headaches as well, my 7-year-old grandson. And I don't think he's had, I don't know that it's been an issue since, but I just haven't talked to them about that specifically. My mother had what they called sick headaches when she was a little girl. And so when we were talking about Rowan and getting the headache salve and stuff, she was like, oh yeah, I had the same thing. And so it's just kind of, maybe it's with growing pains. I don't know. It could be all kinds of things that cause it, but you hate to give kids pharmaceuticals, even over-the-counter things, if you can avoid it. And this is something you put it on their little temples, and it's helped your daughter, seems to have helped my grandson, but it's a headache salve that you can get that's made from CBD products that are grown right here in Robertson County by Bill Corbin. That's brother to the Corbins and to Amy. And they've got the oils and all the things. I can't say enough about CBD products and what it's done to help me. The pain salves, the bug bite salves and things like that have just been such a great asset for me and my health. And it's a unique gift idea. If you go into the gift shop there at Corbin Creek Greenhouse, you're going to find handmade items from Miss Jane, which are always so sweet and precious, and all these CBD products, all these products that are infused with CBD that you could make for stocking stuffers or a unique gift for somebody that's really difficult to buy for. that is something that you could do and they'll love it. And this is the time to get your garden ready for spring, guys. Amy can talk to you about where things need to be planted. You want to go plug some perennials in so you've got that burst of life coming through the soil in the spring when things warm up. She can help you and advise you on all of that. They may still have some pansies that will thrive through the cold winter months. If you've got your mums, put those in the ground. They're perennials. A lot of people didn't realize that, not just something that you need to let die on your porch. But all the things and all the questions that you have for any kind of gardening needs, now's the time to go and talk to them at Corbin Creek Greenhouse Gifts and Gardening Center. They're at 4920 Highway 161, 4920 Highway 161 here in Springfield. If you want to give them a call, 615-384-3185, 615-384-3185 on winter hours now, 10 to 4, Monday through Saturday, 1 to 4 on Sunday. And again, just always give them a call and let them know that U-Turn sent you and ask all your questions, my good friends, the Corbins. And what else you need to talk about, my friend?
Oh, well, we've got my father's house is hoping to open soon. I know we've kind of talked about how when the zoning changed, the codes changed, and they've been working on that, but they're looking at maybe being able to get a temporary permit. So they're doing training. Charlene might weigh in here. Charlene, if you're driving, just wait till you get where you're going. I know she said, the other day I pulled over so I could respond. But just, they're going to be doing training, I think it's Saturday, so that you can be trained to be an overnight volunteer. And the most recent post I saw is like, we understand that that's kind of like to stay overnight seems like it might be scary and it might be, hard and and you're not going to get a ton of sleep. They're very upfront about that. You probably won't get a ton of sleep because it's just like having a new baby. You're kind of sleeping with one ear open. But so they recommended that you not have something going on the next day. Okay. 10 a.m. Saturday. Okay, I was right. So 10 a.m. at my father's house, go get trained to be an overnight volunteer or to check people in. So to check people in, they make sure that everybody who stays there, they make sure that they don't have any weapons on them, their medication. I think they might also check them against sex offenders registry. So you need to be trained how to kind of deal with that kind of those kinds of issues or conflicts if somebody comes in. So that training will be Saturday at 10 a.m. And highly encourage, even if you don't think you might be able to do it a lot, maybe there'll be a night or two or whatever. I highly encourage you to get trained because you might actually fall in love with it and might find ways to make it happen instead of excuses. So anyway, but also you can always plug in by bringing in a meal, doing a devotional, and that's something for anybody. You need to be 21 to be an overnight chaperone or to check people in, but you can be any age. Another thing you can do with your family, and I've done it with mine, we've made a dinner together and taken it over and sat down with our friends there and had a meal together and done a devotional. So I highly suggest getting involved somehow. If everybody gets involved and does a little bit, then the amount of work that needs to be done is we all get to be the hands and feet of Christ instead of just a few people.
Well, I was talking to somebody the other day, and I don't have her permission to share who it is, but says she spends a couple of nights there a week, a lot of the times, and she's volunteering, and it was the same kind of thing that she just has a heart for the homeless and just loves it. And I had no idea that she was doing that. And I was like, really? Oh, wow. That's amazing. And I just, yeah.
And
cool.
I encourage any of our lawmakers or public servants to take a shift because I think a lot of preconceived notions we have about people who are experiencing homelessness are going to be busted the minute you meet these people, you sit down with them. I remember thinking it was, they were either had mental health issues or they had addictions and so many, and I'm not saying that that's not part of some of people's stories, but it's not their story. I sat down with a woman last year who had lived in the same home for 10 years. She had paid rent on time every single month, no problems whatsoever. But the owner it was an old historic home that had been split into several apartments, and he wanted to restore it. And so he evicted everybody so that he could restore the home. And she found herself on the streets.
Yeah.
Not able, even though she had a good rental history, she wasn't able to find another place, and she had a car, so she had lived in her car until it just got too dang cold last year. I don't know if you remember, it got so incredibly cold.
The polar vortex.
Yes, and so she couldn't stay in her car any longer, but she had a job. She paid her rent on time. She, and so these things happen to people, and And it's heartbreaking, but you find veterans who hadn't been connected to their veteran services. You find just so many different situations that these individuals are experiencing. Our brothers and sisters is who they are, and they're experiencing a hard time, and we need to be there with them. So
it's just like I met the couple, when I stopped by Laundry Love that time, that he'd had a stroke, and they'd both been working, and without his income, they couldn't pay their rent. Same thing, and they were. Just amazing. And they were living in the truck, but getting a hotel from time to time. And, and I see them around town every now and then. She's working like a mad woman and he's working. I saw him walking down the street the other day. You could see it was a therapeutic. I'm working, trying to get it all back. And when they came into the laundry, he immediately went back to the game and was playing a game. And your first thought is like, well, that's not very nice. While she's trying to get all this done, it was therapeutic for his hand controls. And that's what she told me. She said, oh, he's back there. This is good therapy for him. I was like, oh my gosh. People, your preconceived notions, when you see something and you do not know the story behind it, wow, changes everything.
Absolutely.
And it's an amazing program. Oh my gosh, it's 8:00. I just all of a sudden realized we were out of time. Did I do all my ads? We did veterans, we did Corbin, we did Barry and Rebecca. Yeah, we did our ads. Any parting thoughts?
No, I hope everybody can find a way to give back this season. If you need to find a way, there's a place to plug in for whatever your passion is. And so contact me at Tiffany.Thomson without a P at UnitedWayGN.org. Again, that's Tiffany.Thomson at UnitedWayGN.org.
Without a P.
Without a P.
There you go.
P.
And thank you for joining us here again for One Street Over. We appreciate y'all so much being a part of what we have going on. And tomorrow is Faith Friday. Working on who's going to be coming in and sitting in that seat. I'm trying to get our new preacher in here, Michael Ross up at Madison. He's not available tomorrow, but we'll have somebody in here. Rachel Carville will be here next week, but we will have just a spiritual time for you here for Faith Friday on One Street Over tomorrow. Thank you for joining us. God bless. Have a wonderful day. Thank you, Tiff.
No problem. Thanks for having me.